Blog Talk Radio.
Come on, people, what the hell?
And now, Enrique's Walking Dead is proud to present Blog Talk Radio with your host, Sarah Lynn Crow.
Hey, everybody. It is Sarah Crow here, and today we have a special little show for you. We have actor Vincent Ward with us on the phone. Hey, Vincent, how are you doing today?
Did you say a special little show? This is a special big show. What's going on, everybody?
Oh, forgive me.
Good to see you have a sense of humor.
Of course.
Oh, man. So, you are in the Walking Dead community best known for your role as Oscar. Basically, I know you have a lot of projects going on right now, but we did want to kind of touch on the Oscar thing because we have a lot of fans listening in. So,
who's that guy? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, I just wanted to ask you what exactly it was that was your favorite part about being on that particular show, and any other random thoughts about it that you might have.
My favorite part of the show was being on the show, having a job. You know, the way that you guys view the show is not the same way that I view it. I just view it like it's a job. You know, honestly, I didn't even know what The Walking Dead was when I first started working on the show. I just looked at it like it was it was another job. When I was told, well, you're casting for The Walking Dead, I was like, okay. So, I mean, but after these last year and a half, 2 years have gone past, it's definitely been a blessing. You know, it's been an honor being on such a popular show. And everybody, they always ask how was it working with Norman, or how was it working with anybody. Everybody was down to earth. It was, I think they view it the same way. It was work.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, when I first came on to The Walking Dead, it definitely wasn't as big as it is now, so it's kind of cool to see that it's blown up so much. And do you have, like, how let me say it this way, about how much of a percentage of your personal fan base do you think has come from The Walking Dead? Oh, man,
probably more than half. Probably more than half. You know, I can actually go back to, like, my Twitter account. Before I was working on the show, I really wasn't like a big Twitter person. I probably only had maybe 900 followers. And since I've been on the show or off the show, I actually feel like my character has become more popular now that I'm off the show for some strange reason. But now I have almost 19,000 Twitter followers, which is cool with me, but I always tell people it's more to me than Oscar. And now that, especially the women, they see these other pictures and see these other videos, and then they can't believe I'm the same person that played the character Oscar. And I just like, damn, was I ugly on the show or what? So it's like the ladies are definitely feeling it.
You became a pretty big fan favorite pretty fast. I mean, was that unexpected for you,
I really didn't, I really didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. But I can say, especially with my character and Axel's character, I think we brought a little something different to the show, because if you think back, the show was always serious. There was really no comedy in it. And even though me and him had a couple of funny parts, I think that it made us a little different from all the rest of the characters on the show. And even with my character, it showed, the guy, he's a big guy. At first you didn't know if you can trust him, but then you saw a lot of loyalty to him. And I would say, with me, it was comedy, drama, sex appeal, loyalty.
Huh.
And that's not on no ego tip, but that's just from what I've heard.
Well, I thought it was rather interesting because, as a fan of the show, a lot of people have a hard time developing an emotional relationship with the characters because they do get killed off kind of quickly sometimes, or just when you're starting to invest in them emotionally, their character gets killed off. And with your character, that was something I saw that was a little different, was that, people liked you immediately from the start. And, we were talking about Bob last night, and Bob's been on the show for quite a while now, and people still don't really feel that emotional attachment to him, as I feel even they did with, like, your character or Axel's, which was another one that we were very sorry to see go.
Mm.
Yeah, but the strange thing about it is, like, when the show changed showrunners or whatever, then that's when a lot of people start getting killed off, because originally it wasn't like that. It wasn't like, okay, we like this character, then all of a sudden they're gone. They at least gave you a good year to like the person before they left the show. And, I haven't been watching season 4, and, well, I didn't watch season 4 except for the mid-season finale and the finale. And it's not because I'm not on the show anymore. I didn't watch the show before I got on the show. But from what I'm hearing, because, of course, people are going to say T-Dog, they're going to say Oscar, they're going to say Tyrese, and they're going to say Bob, because we was only like what's the other guy's name? I forgot his name. He's on season 1. And they're going to say that because we're the only black guys on the show. And it's hard to compare somebody that you like a T-Dog and an Oscar, compared to a Tyrese and a Bob. With T-Dog and Oscar, it seemed like we had, and I'm just going by what I've heard, because like I said, I haven't seen the episodes, people gravitated towards our personality and our characters more than they have with Tyrese and Bob. Why? I don't know, because I haven't seen it. I hear that Bob plays an alcoholic, or some people think he's a rapist or something, and I don't know. And then they feel like Tyrese started off as a tough guy, now he's become wimpy. So,
well, I wonder if something like that might have something to do with what happened to your character. Like you came on the show, people liked you, they enjoyed seeing you, and then bang, you're dead. Bang, Axel's dead, and that may have caused them to, be a little weary about becoming emotionally invested in the new character.
Yeah, but why?
Just because
why
it's
not?
so unexpected as to what they might do to you.
Right. But the thing about it is I remember on Twitter, this guy is a white guy. He had told me, he said, Vince, he said, when I saw the beginning of one of the episodes when Tyrese was first introduced and he was running through the woods, he said, I knew you were going to get killed that episode. And I think that's sort of sad. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, a lot of people feel like they're replacing one black guy, then they replace another one. And you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. Not one time did I ever feel like it was any racism or anything like that. I never felt that or never even thought that. But going by what the fans and the followers of the show are telling me, there's some people who really and truly watch this show, and some of the stuff that they told me, I never even thought about it. I thought, even thought anything about it. And even like the guy who played Andrew, the other prisoner, nobody remembers him, but I killed him. So it was basically two black guys who got killed on the same episode. T-Dog and Andrew.
It is kind of funny that you mentioned it because, it is like a long-running joke, or at least I look at it like a joke that, there can only be one black guy on the show at a time, kind of, and it's just, when I hear it, I'm like, okay, it's a joke, it's TV humor, the one black guy rule kind of, I guess, like, so when you see Tyrese come in, it's like, oh, Oscar's dead, like, it was kind of funny to hear people say that.
But it comes off as a joke, but in the same breath, it's something serious too, though. With the whole Donald Sterling thing happening and all this other stuff. I mean, it's honestly, it's not cool, though. It really and truly ain't. And I tell anybody, I said the reason why they probably didn't have me on the Talking Dead is because they know I'm gonna keep it 100 real with you. You know, it's like we can agree to disagree, but you can never knock somebody's opinion or how they feel about something. So, but yeah.
I mean, I would like to think that, you know, it's not the case that, you know what I mean, that that's just the way it kind of played out, you know, unfortunately. Like I said, I mean, your character was very well liked in, I believe, 7 episodes you were in?
7, yeah, and I'm grateful for all 7. You know, especially when it was something that I knew I didn't know anything about. Absolutely nothing about the show. You know, I remember somebody had mentioned it, like, go ahead.
Oh, so you know, you hadn't read the comics, you hadn't seen the show, you literally knew nothing about it walking into it.
I knew nothing about it. When they said it was about zombies, and I said, well, why are people watching a show about zombies? I said, who's watching a show about zombies? And come to find out everybody and their mama is watching the show about zombies.
Well, before the show, a lot of people did tend to think is the zombie genre, as what it has become, is basically a joke. You know, zombie movies are kind of on par with comedies to me because, you know, it has kind of become a joke, and they've more or less become a, you know, almost not even a B movie anymore.
But
so
I
to
think
see something refreshing like The Walking Dead is
more
nice.
about the storyline now than it is about the zombies. You know, it's great storyline. So.
Well, that's something we all love about the show. It is definitely a little bit more about the people, you know, and what the actors bring to the show itself than the zombies, you know.
Yeah, it is like sort of kind of like a soap opera, a zombie soap opera. In fact, Kirkman said that identified it as such. But I kind of wanted to say something about the token thing. I really have never... I don't like seeing people say that because it actually kind of pisses me off. I never associated it like that myself, and then just to see people saying that, it makes me want to reach through my computer screen and punch them out. Like, are you? Yeah, because like I said,
I never even thought about that. I never thought about that, but then when you see Tito, the 1.0, then Oscar 2.0, and then Tyrese 2.5, and all this other stuff, I'm just like, what the hell? What is all of that?
Right.
Or do you see, on Instagram, or it can only be one? So, I mean, of course, as one of the guys is involved in it, we started thinking like, damn, okay, that is a little strange. I mean, even like when I mentioned the Talking Dead, I thought it was strange that for me to do 7 episodes that I didn't get invited to the show.
Yeah.
I've seen people on the Talking Dead that has never been on the show or had 1 or 2 episodes. And I thought my character as Oscar did enough and had enough respect and enough love for the fans that they could at least gave me that.
I think now
I would have liked to have seen it as a send-off,
Yeah, I think with the fan base you have now, they probably would have done it if it was right now. Because since those episodes aired, it has blown up. It's like quadrupled and, just popularity even since those very episodes. So it kind of makes sense that at that point in time, it was not, I didn't even know that there was a Talking Dead until last year. So it was just, for me, I would want to hope at least that was the case and not that it was something otherwise because, that would just be the epitome of a completely intolerant society that we have right now. And that drives me nuts even thinking that.
Yeah, because, the guy who played Tomas, he did 1.5 episodes. He got invited. My man Lou Temple, he did 8 episodes, and, that was like my running buddy, and he got invited. So, I thought about it. I let it go, but like I said, I'm the type of person, if I feel a certain way, I speak my mind, not in a disrespectful way, but in the way that I didn't, as a man first, I'm man enough to tell you I don't think that was cool. Because at the end of the day, I'm not kissing nobody's butt. We can agree to disagree. I'm not going to be the woe is me or why did that happen to me. Because I'm just like the new billboards that they had up where it said, don't look back. That's me. I'm not looking back. I'm looking forward. I'm looking towards my future. You know, that door right there is closed for now, and I'm looking towards my future.
Speaking of your future, I know we wanted to talk about a lot of the stuff that you've got going on now and what your plans are in the future. So, Stephen, I know you had some specific things you wanted to ask him about, so let's hear it.
Well, number one, you have this new show, The Chill Spot. I'd like to hear something about that. The first time hearing about it is what you brought up in the group last night. So if you can tell us a little bit about that, that would be great.
Okay, well, before I talk about that, I just got done, tomorrow's my last day filming a movie called The Choir Director, starring Clifton Powell and Christian Keys and a whole bunch of people that's in this movie. So I think that's one of the movies that's coming going straight to DVD, but it's an awesome script that got for The Choir Director. And, you know, for the last few years, I always wanted to be a host of something. I always wanted to do the thing like Billy D. Williams was back in the day with Colt 45, or how the guy is today with the most interesting man in the world. I really wanted to do something like that, and I watch a lot of cooking shows and I watch a lot of traveling shows. So what I did is I created a show called The Chill Spot that can basically be hit the cooking part and the traveling part. And what it is, my first stop is going to be in Barbados. Right now, we're talking about hitting like 23 different countries, and just going to go to places where I call it the grown and sexy places where not a lot of tourist people go to, because a lot of times when it's a tourist area, people try to get you for your money. They try to overcharge you. But I want to go to places where it's still romantic, it's still affordable, and you can still have fun and come back home and talk about your experience. I call it balling on a budget. Because everybody don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to go spend on a vacation. But I'm going to introduce you to the places that you can go and feel like you spent $1,000 and maybe only spent a couple of hundred.
Personally, I like that idea. It sounds really good because I've watched some travel shows and stuff like that, and I look at these places like, yeah, they're beautiful, but how could I ever afford to go there,
Exactly. Hey, I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way. Even like, a lot of times people see me with these different suits on and all this other stuff. You know what? I go get a suit, get it tailored, make it look like $1,000. It's all about balling on a budget. I don't care if I got five.
The most interesting man in the world, and I saw something about this on your website, the face and voice of your business. And it brought to mind,
I really want to do something like that.
Based on your look, and I've mentioned to you, you're a very sharp-looking guy, especially with your suits on, you just have a great look to you. But I could definitely see you filling a role of that most interesting man in the world type of thing,
Yeah, because originally I wanted to do a show, say Patron. You will always end the show off with a glass of Patron. In the show, I don't care if it's at a beach, I don't care if it's at anywhere that's sexy and romantic. I wanted to do something like that. But I came up with The Chill Spot, and I think it's going to be a great show. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be for the normal person. It's not about being rich or anything like that. It's going to be for the normal person feeling like they can go somewhere and have a good time and don't have to worry about paying the bills or worrying about a bill while you're on vacation. Because I know there's people out here that, including myself, back in the day, you be on vacation and you don't want to spend what you really truly want to spend to have a good time because when you get back home, you got that cell phone bill or you got that car note or you got that rent or that mortgage. So I want people to be able to come back home and still be like, oh, okay, we're cool. We had some money in our pocket to spend.
Mhm.
And that's The Chill Spot.
Like I said, that's it's a very refreshing idea, and I like the premise behind it. Considering, like I said, most of these travel shows are a fantasy. It's not something you could expect to go out and actually do yourself. And it would be nice to see someone portraying that in an aspect like you can come to these places, you can have the same fun that these people are spending on their $10,000 and $20,000 vacation. That would definitely be nice to see.
And I just wanted to be classy as well. You know, I'm tired of turning the TV on, seeing these reality shows with people being so ghetto, or even some of the traveling shows or the cooking shows. They eating mess that they know they shouldn't be eating. You know, then you got kids go out here and try to eat a whole steak or eat some monkey brains or anything like that. Nobody really does that. You know, I want it to be realistic. I don't want it to be ghetto and disrespectful and outrageous. I'm tired of saying that. If I could wipe out all the reality shows on TV, I definitely would.
I could agree with that. You know, and like I said, you think about it, tend to bring a touch of class to everything you're in. You know, I your appearance, like I said, is just phenomenal. You know.
And if you think about it, Steve, if you took off some of these reality shows, it'd be more positive shows on TV. More series, more sitcoms, you know, but now it's like, oh, love and basketball, love and hip-hop, oh, F-U-B, or, you know, I'm going to kill you. I'm like, come on. And I have four grandkids and 4 kids. And it's like, okay, this is what the kids are growing up to. This is what society has become. It's become a big old mess. You know, every time you see somebody fight, you want to record it and put it on World Star Hip Hop. That's not cool. You might record something that you really shouldn't be recording. You might record somebody get killed, and you're the only person with the evidence, and then you went and gave it away. Now these people come looking for you. The kids don't think about that stuff. They just want to post stuff on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and try to be cool and popular by recording something that's negative. And I'm tired of seeing that.
Me too. I'm into that.
But the thing about it, society calls these reality people reality stars. These people aren't stars.
It's not reality.
They're not doing anything.
It's not reality either. Nope.
No.
I've always disagreed with people being famous just for being famous. Like, that always kind of bothered me, you know?
Yeah.
Well, there was something I wanted to bring up. You mentioned hip-hop a moment ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a lot of people may not know this because I guess I said most people right now, they see you as Oscar from The Walking Dead. From what I gathered from what I looked up about you and what I saw on your website, which is www.vincentmward.com. Check them out, guys. Is that you got your start as a dancer, correct?
Yeah, man. I used to be a dancer in 2 different groups. One was called Dr. Eves and the Eves Town Posse, and the other one was called the Slam Syndicate. And we were on the same record label as Vanilla Ice.
Oh, wow.
We would open up shows for like MC Hammer and Special Ed and Public Enemy and Salt and Pepper. So that's where I actually got my entertainment bug from, you know, that and playing basketball. And sometimes, I was a McDonald's All-American nominee in basketball. I got letters from every college you can think of, but I didn't want to go straight to college. I wanted to dance in my rap group. And I remember we were supposed to go on the first Arsenio Hall show when he was really, really popular back in like the 80s and 90s. So, yeah, dancing was my thing. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. Me and my dance partner, I'm 6'4", he was 6'5". We would win every dance contest in the Midwest. People, we would call them night and day, but people call us the Twin Tower Dancers. Yeah, so.
Because, you're definitely not a small guy.
No, man, and that's where
if this other guy was bigger than you, I could just imagine seeing the two of you dance together. You know, it would definitely be something.
He was taller than me, but he was skinny. And like if it was a routine that somebody had to get picked up, it was always me picking him up on my shoulders. So I never thought about being an actor, man. My whole thing was my first love and passion for a job or career was definitely basketball and dancing.
Now, I think it may be a little late for your basketball career, but
I just got done playing.
Do you ever see yourself dancing again? I mean, should we look forward to seeing you on Dancing with the Stars or something like that? Do you miss dancing?
You know what? See, you know, what's funny is all my friends always ask me about that. They always ask me, man, why don't you try to go on Dancing with the Stars? And I'll put money on it. If I went on Dancing with the Stars, I would definitely, if not win, get close to winning. Because I still know how to dance, and honestly, I still know how to play basketball. I still play basketball twice a week. Yeah. I still have,
That's awesome.
I still have love for it.
And now you did eventually
attend. I don't watch Dancing with the Stars, but I would if you did it.
Oh, I don't really watch it either, but yeah, I would watch if he was on it too.
You know what? The other day I was over here. I live in close to Hollywood, and I was over there by the Chinese Man Theater, and what the Dance with the Stars are doing, they're doing this thing like Dancing for Health, and they had some like the background dancers up there, and they were showing people how to do, you know, different routines or whatnot. And they ended up interviewing me, and I was like, you know, I told them I played Oscar on The Walking Dead, whatever. And they were saying that we would love to have one of the new or old cast members on the show. Hey, I don't know who would dare to do it now. Maybe, who could you see on The Walking Dead on Dance with the Stars right now? Maybe her, but I don't think anybody else would have enough rhythm to take it that far. But
no, and she has a very athletic body, athletic body. So she could probably handle it pretty well.
Yeah, but I think I can definitely give them a run for their money on that show.
That'd be cool. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it definitely would be something interesting to see. So, like, you know, as I previously said, you know, do you miss, you know, dancing at all? Like, you know, do you miss it?
Man, sometimes I might go out and cut loose. I remember years ago, a friend of mine was like, "Hey, Elvis, when you gonna put away your blue suede shoes?" I put them away, but they're still here. And every now and then I dust them off and I do my thing. I even thought about, you know, because I get asked about dancing so much because that's all I used to do. And I even thought about putting a video together, showing people, like, you know, I still got a few moves. I can throw the old school and the new school in. I can duck in and all that other stuff. So, awesome. You know, I just like talking to, I don't like to call people fans. I like to talk to my social media family. You know, I don't want them to feel like every person that they see on TV is not approachable, because it's not like that. I mean, sometimes people are busy, and sometimes a lot of the Twitter followers, they do get a little insane, a little crazy, and you have to, you know, if you tell them once, then 9 times out of 10, everything will be cool. But I like for people to know who Vincent M. Ward is, not just as Oscar, not just as an actor, but who I am. Mm-hmm. And it's not about me being an attention whore or anything like that. It's about, I'm no different from you. I'm just on the show that you love to see, or on some shows that you love to watch. That's it.
You do seem very down to earth.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're very easy to talk to. I feel very comfortable talking to you. I don't know that I would feel this way talking to another actor. You know, I've always felt you were a very down to earth person. You know, you respect the fans a lot. It seems like you know that obviously without fans, actors wouldn't really be actors, now would they?
Oh, definitely, but that's not what I do it for. I do it because that's my personality and because I'm humble and because I know that this can be taken away any day. You can go be walking down a flight of steps. I mean, just like the lady from, she just died today, Ann Davis or something like that. That was on what was the show where they had all the kids?
Oh,
the show.
The maid from the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, from the Brady Bunch.
Oh, my gosh.
She tripped down the steps and died today or yesterday.
Oh, man.
You know, that can happen right now. You can fall, bump your head, change something, hit your mouth, can't talk anymore. I remember back in the day, one of my favorite rappers was a rapper called the D.O.C., okay? And he was when Browntown NWA was out. This guy got in a car accident. What's the main thing that a rapper cannot lose is his voice. And he lost his voice in a car accident.
Oh.
So, man, I tell people all the time, don't take your life for granted. Anything can happen at a drop of a dime. You never know. You have to try to live life to the fullest and just try to treat people right. And that's why I always say, man, every day you have to get up and rise and grind to do something not only to better your life, but to maybe put a smile on somebody's face, because you never know who's watching you, and you never know whose life you can touch or change just by saying hi. And that's me. Damn the acting, damn the dancing and the basketball, that's just me as a person. So
that's a great perspective on life, you know. And like I said, it's nice to hear that down-to-earth perspective from an actor, you know. Some of them seem like they're almost on a pedestal, that they're unapproachable, you know. And as a person, like I said, you seem very approachable, you know. You seem like a very likable person. And it's just very refreshing to see that in somebody, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But sometimes the people create the monster. They sometimes, like, you know, the people put them on, like you said, a pedestal so high that they start believing their own BS. They start smelling their own crap. And it's because so many people put them on that pedestal. There's one thing I can say about Norman Reedus. As much people love him, he's not like that. He's definitely approachable, or you can talk to him. And I'm only using him because he's probably the most popular person on the show. And Andy's the same. Everybody's like that. Andy's the same way.
And I think that is one of the reasons the show is such a hit, you know. The actors themselves, you know, I mentioned last night that, you know, I love the acting of all the people. I have yet to see somebody portray a character that I didn't like the acting. Even if I didn't like the character, I've seen all the episodes of The Talking Dead. I've seen a lot of their interviews, and they all do seem to have that slightly more down-to-earth personality than a lot of the bigger TV stars, or like these reality stars, if you want to call them stars, things like that. And I think that definitely adds to the popularity of the show.
Yeah, because I mean the reality people, they're just regular. They're regular people. What they doing, anybody can do. And I tell any of them to their face, you're not a star. You're just on TV acting a fool. You're pretending to be something that you really and truly are for a check, and your check isn't that big because you're a reality person. You're not an actor.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Yeah, that's one thing I've always enjoyed about you, Vincent, is that you're very interactive with your fans, and you share a lot of your life with us. You had me cracking up. I think it was a couple weeks ago when you posted that you were going to the beach, and you went to the beach, and there was dolphins in the water. And your videos were just cracking me up. We're like, nope, I'm done. I'm out of here.
But man, it was so creepy because they were so close to the edge. I'm like, wait a minute. I see some fins. And before you know it, it was probably like 7 or 8 of them. I'm like, oh, hell no, I am not getting in this water. Nope. Not going to do it.
Yeah. That was awesome.
But that's me.
Well, I love the ocean, but if I see a fin, I'm telling you the same thing. I'm out, man.
Dude, and especially when you start seeing a whole bunch of them, you got to go because they might be running from something. And then they had just saw a shark the week before that, right up from where I was at. So no, heck no.
No, out of there.
So yeah, man. So
now I know you mentioned when
the group. How's the group doing, man? I see y'all got a lot of people in your group. I'm grateful that you guys allowed me to be a part of the group. Thank you.
We've got a really huge amount of people. It blew up over the last couple of months. It went from like having about 16,000 to now I think we're over 160,000 members.
That's a whole bunch of people.
It's gotten insane, man. Totally.
Yeah, that's
crazy. And it's 164,000 right now. So it's definitely a lot of fun managing it.
Yeah, what's his name? Enrique, he be on it, man. He be on it. Shouts out to you, boy. I know you're probably listening. So, shouts out to Enrique.
He probably is. Yeah, Enrique's awesome. He's like the best group owner I've ever met, including out of myself. So he's very level-headed. He likes to keep the peace, which is really good. I think that's one thing that's made his group so successful Is that he doesn't allow that crazy drama stuff that a lot of people would just pass off and be like, oh, you know, it gets attention, so why care? You know?
Yeah.
He doesn't allow any of that.
I've seen him check some people. I've seen him check some people say, you know what, be respectful to our guests or be respectful to this person or that person. And I respect that. You know, if you're gonna be the head of the group, sometimes you gotta put your foot down and let people know this ain't that type of group. You might either want to start your own group, go to somebody else's group, but we don't do that here at ours. And I like that. You know, just like I want people to feel comfortable, I want to feel comfortable too. Because you know, it's been times when people. I remember one night. Boy, we was on the road with people asking me a lot of questions, and it was a lot of questions, and I tried to answer every single last one of them. Because you know what, I respect you guys, and I'm grateful for you guys as well. You know, like you said, if it wasn't for you guys, it wouldn't be a Walking Dead, it wouldn't be a True Blood, it wouldn't be Everybody Hates Chris, it wouldn't be anything. It wouldn't be anything on TV. So, thank you.
Well, thank you for being a part of it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that means just as much to us. I mean, it's all about family right now, and who support and trying to keep people level because there's a lot of craziness out there right now.
Mhm. Yep.
That's how it is.
So where are you guys located at?
I am located in Denver myself. Stephen, I don't know.
I'm in Northeast Pennsylvania. The group is obviously with that many members scattered throughout the world.
We have
group members in every country.
So let me ask you this, Steve. Have you ever heard of Altoona, Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Are you close to there?
A couple hours.
Oh, okay, because July 10th, I'm throwing off the first pitch for the Altoona Curves.
Okay.
The baseball team, the minor league baseball team, man. If you in town or whatnot, come holler at your boy.
Nice.
And I promise you guys, I won't throw off the first pitch like 50 Cent did the other day.
I sure
promise
hope
you I won't do that.
Now, you played baseball in high school, correct?
Yeah, I played, man, but the arm is rusty. I'm definitely not going to throw it out like him. That was embarrassing, man. How you going to be like a gangster rapper or a gangster actor and you can't even throw a ball? Guys, if everybody's listening, if you have not seen that video, please go to YouTube and watch 50 Cent throw out the first pitch. Embarrassing.
I think he was on a talk show or something the other night trying to play it off or something, like almost like he meant to do that kind of, and it's like, man, you didn't mean to do that.
No. If you meant to do that, you just made a fool out of yourself.
Oh, man. That's too much.
Now, you mentioned earlier, just a few moments ago, some of the other shows you've worked on, Everybody Hates Chris. And I was looking over some of the shows you did, and, I mean, aside from The Walking Dead, I mean, you've been in a lot of television shows. Almost to the point where the list was so long, I was like, is there a show he hasn't been on?
And, it's just like when I did True Blood. I think I have better luck when I don't know what the show is about or never seen it. That's happened with True Blood. That's happened with Wilford. That happened with Sight. There's a few other ones, man. When I don't know, when I haven't seen the show or know anything about it, I seem to book it. So I'm gonna stay like that. Maybe I should just cancel cable and not watch anything. But as far as like Everybody Hates Chris, I was Terry Cruz's personal stand-in. He played the father on there. You might know him from White Chicks, Everybody Hates Chris, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And I was his personal stand-in for 4 years, but a lot of times, any show that you see, everyone has a stand-in. And for people who don't know what a stand-in is, that's basically you're acting like you're that person. So I was acting like I was Terry while he was in wardrobe or makeup. But on that particular show, the stand-ins had to run the lines. We had to do all the lines and all the movements. But I always looked at it like it was an audition because every week we had a different director. So I told the other stand-ins, we're going to go in here like this is an audition. And we did that, and most of the time our stand-ins was better than the people that they were hired. And sometimes, like, a director would leave the show and go work on another show, but they remember the stand-in and hire that stand-in. So I was probably, I don't know, maybe 7 different characters on Everybody Hates Chris.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe I saw that, and I thought that was kind of funny that they let you play so many different characters.
Mm-hmm. They was like, well, why hire somebody else when we got somebody right here that can do that part? And you don't find that too often. But I looked at it like, I was the leader of the stand-ins. And I told them, I said, if they look at you like you're just a stand-in, then that's all you're going to be. You guys claim to be actors, so let's act. Let's act. And that's exactly what we did. And that's why we all got different parts on there. Diamond Cook, Oscar McFarlane, myself, we all got different parts. Reggie White.
Right.
Like I said earlier, you never know who's watching you. And a lot of times you have to watch what you say and watch the things you do, especially with social media. A lot of times people live out their fantasies or live out who they think or want to be out on social media. A lot of times people are cooler on the internet than they are in real life. Or a lot of times people will express their feelings and say, oh, I'm in love, or oh, I'm in a relationship with this person, and then 2 weeks later, you're looking crazy because now the guy dumped you, or he cheated on you, or vice versa. So, social media is cool, but you can't, even with me, I only let people know what I want them to know. It's been plenty of times I've been wanting to tell people off or tell people to stop doing that because I know who you really are, and I know you're fronting and you're lying to people. But, if I really know the person, I'll call them and be like, look, stop with all that. Stop with that lying. Stop with that fronting. I don't like that. Okay, and if I'm your friend.
Sorry, excuse me. We have some callers on the line, and I'd like to get to them in a few moments, if that's okay with you. There was one other thing I wanted to touch on. You're big into theater, from what I understand, and you got your acting start in theater.
Yeah.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer to be on the stage, or do you prefer to be behind the camera? Which type of acting do you say you have more of a passion for? Because I know they're 2 completely different animals.
Stage. I tell people all this. You can go from stage to movies and theater, to movies and TV, but a lot of people from movies and TV can't go to theater. It's a totally different beast. There is no cut when it comes to the stage. It's always action. So and then you get self-gratification right then and there because it's your job to make the crowd ooh or ah or laugh or cry. With TV and movies, you can always say cut. In fact, the director can always say do it a different way. But when you're on that stage, no, you got to go for it. And that's where I started off in Columbus, Ohio, doing plays. I walked in the theater one day, and I fell in love with acting. Never seen a play ever in my life until that day at Living the Dream Theater in Columbus, Ohio.
That's awesome.
That's been, like you said, it is. You do have to, get your performance right the first time. That's why it's so much different from television. And I know most people, I would think most actors would prefer to do something on camera where if they make a mistake, it could be cut out, obviously, because, you don't have to get it right the first time. It's refreshing to hear that somebody would prefer to be on stage and giving it their all on the first try,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay,
and I don't care how many people are in the audience. You never know who that person is that's watching. They paid their money, so you got to give them your all. I don't care if it's 3 people in the audience or not.
Okay, I've got a few callers on the line. We got about 15 minutes or so left, and I'd like to go ahead and get to them. I'm sure they have some questions for you. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our first caller here. Hello, you're on the line with Vincent Ward. Hello?
Forget you then. No, I'm just kidding. You must get scared.
Hello? All right, we might have had you on hold a little too long. I'm going to go ahead and bring in someone else. Please feel free to call back. Hey, hello, you're on the line.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
This is Shelby. Hi, Vincent. How are you?
Hey, Shelby. Thanks for calling in.
Well, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate that. We, as a family, appreciate that.
Appreciate you guys as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. I first wanted to thank you for being part of our Walking Dead family. It means a lot. Walking Dead means a lot to us, and for you to be a part of our family is a big deal. So I wanted to thank you for that. Thank you. And then personally, I liked Oscar a lot. I think Oscar could have done a lot for the group. So I personally was upset about losing him, just so you knew that. And then a friend of mine wanted to ask you what your all-time favorite role was. Her name is Heather, and she wanted to know what your all-time favorite role to play was.
Okay. Hey, Heather, wherever you are. My all-time favorite role was probably in a play. It was called My Brother's Keeper. I played this gangster guy named Rico, and I love that play. My parents loved it. I loved it for the simple fact my parents hated me in the play, but of course, they love me in real life. So for me to get that reaction from my parents, definitely have to be this play called My Brother's Keeper. It's written by Don B. Welch. The character was Rico. Maybe for on TV, I don't know if any of you guys saw this. It was when they tried to remake Knight Rider. They remade the old show Knight Rider.
Okay.
And that was the first time I
ever had.
That was my first. Man, they only had 3 episodes. That was my first time having a stunt double. So to see the guy have to cut his hair to look like me, that made me feel good. So, yeah.
Now, I used to watch Wilfred, and then I stopped. So now that I know that you've done an episode, I'm going to have to go back and watch that, because that's a pretty fun show to get into.
Yeah, that show is crazy, and I think they just took it off the air. To be honest with you.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
they canceled it.
Wow.
They canceled it because my character would have been coming back because I played a mailman, and then, of course, it's about the dog,
right.
And Elijah Kelly. So he had a problem with the mailman, and it was a very funny episode. So, yeah.
Well, I will definitely have to find that, because I absolutely did love that show, and then for whatever reason fell off of it. And then earlier you were talking about reality TV. And I was telling Sarah, I absolutely agree that reality TV is absolute garbage. But you said something about your show, which, if you could repeat the name of that for me again, that was called.
It's called The Chill Spot. It's on my. Well, I actually have a page that I created on Facebook. You can like the page if you want. It's called The Chill Spot. It's a traveling show. First stop will be in Barbados, and then I actually might be doing something with Magic Johnson. He has a new network, so we'll see. We're trying to make sure we come to the United States as well. But right now, we're looking at 23 different countries.
See, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to step out and create stuff on your own.
Right. Yeah. Right. And then my last question, Melissa McBride has been nominated for a Critics' Choice Award. And I was wondering what your thoughts on that were. I absolutely also love Melissa McBride, and I feel like, I wondered what your thoughts were, having worked with her, You know what? She's been in the game for a while. So she's deserving of it, She comes to work, she has her stuff together, she doesn't have an attitude or ego, she treats people right. So, let's start giving people who really deserve an award, and not just because they know somebody or they're sleeping with somebody. Let's give people their award because they're talented and they deserve it. When you give people awards because they created a sex tape or their dad or mom is in the game, to me that's not cool.
Not cool. So she's fair. She deserves it because she's a good person. She's a good person before she's a good actress.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for talking to me. And I don't know if you know, but tomorrow's Sarah's birthday. So again, happy birthday, Sarah.
Happy birthday tomorrow, Sarah. Thank you.
And,
thanks for calling.
And thank you for talking to me, guys. Have a good night.
Sure.
All right,
Thank you, girl.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Well, we did have two other callers on the line. Yeah. Not sure what happened to them. Hopefully they call back.
Oh, they hung up?
Oh, good.
Yeah, we had two other callers on the line. Like I said, I was hoping to get a few more questions out to you, so hopefully they'll call back. So like I said, I know you became such a fan favorite so quick, and the people have such a love for the show that,
Yeah,
it's
crazy because, somebody had started a big petition, a Bring Oscar Back Season 5 petition, and I'm like, well, how would they do that? And then once again, not even thinking. It's like, well, go back and watch what happens when you get shot. I'm like, okay, well, I know I only really got shot in the side. I didn't get shot in the head, nor did I get bit by a zombie. And everybody assumes that Maggie shot me in the head.
Wow.
I've heard talk that people said they could work in your twin brother somehow.
Hey, man, whatever happens, it's going to happen. But, I never thought about that. It's just somebody said it, and then it was this big, like I said, this big opposition, bring back Vincent M. Ward Season 5. And so I'm like, hey, if it happens, I'm cool. If not, I'm cool. Because I think that was the same thing with Merle. Everybody assumed Merle was dead on the roof, and then he ended up coming back Season 3.
Right.
And
so.
Okay, we got another caller back here, so let's go ahead and bring him in before we lose him.
I am linking that petition. I'm going to link that petition in our group as well in the event that we created today. So, because I just found it. I want to actually sign up myself, just because.
Yeah, because
hello, you're on the line.
They're absolutely right. Oh yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
We answered your call now. Hello, can you speak? Oh, they hung up. They hung
up. I heard them.
Like,
that might have been my mom. That might have been my mom. And one thing, since nobody's on the line, one thing I can really say, like my little nephew EJ, this little guy is scared of everything. But one thing he is not scared. He's not afraid of is The Walking Dead, and that made me feel good that he wasn't, that he put his fears away. Because his whole thing was my uncle. He called me Uncle Vincent. Uncle Vincent is killing the zombies. And so he would get, like, the vacuum cleaner, and he'd be, like, acting like he's killing them. And that made me feel good to know that he's not he can get over some kind of fear. And for my parents to not watch stuff like that, to watch the show, they watch the show like insane. I'm surprised they haven't joined the group.
Hello?
Okay, we have another caller here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me? This is Stephanie. I was just calling to ask you if you had any YouTube videos of when you used to dance.
I think it's one on there. Matter of fact, it's one. I think it's one on my website, mward.com. And we're in Florida. Big arena. Yeah, so I think it's one on my website, vincentmward.com. And if not, it's one on YouTube somewhere. Definitely is.
Awesome. Definitely have to check that out. And one other question. For all those lady fans out there, a lot of them want to know if you're single.
Oh, wow.
Good question.
Yeah. I am. I'm
you're
married.
More focusing on your career?
No, but you know what? A lot of people say that, but to me, if you love somebody, you can focus on both. you can make time for your career and your love and your mate. So I think that's a little cop out when people say that. So, but no, I'm single.
I'm pretty sure a lot of ladies out there are really happy to hear that one.
Well, ladies, how are you, ladies?
All right, guys, that's all the questions I had, and just wanted to say you're awesome, all around perfect guy.
Thank
right,
you. Thank you. Make sure
night.
you go to the Chill Spot page too.
I just tried going there. I just typed on Facebook.
Oh, okay. You can get on.
Was it on Facebook? I typed in the Chill Spot, and it came up with a restaurant, and then another one with just a bunch of guys look like they're just chilling.
Stephanie. If you go into the group, into the event that we created for tonight's episode, I actually put a link up in that event for the Chill Spot, and I have quite a few other links that I've shared throughout the conversation. So it's definitely a good link in there for you to go and like it. So
awesome. Sounds great. I'm going to go like it right now.
Thank you.
All right, you have a good night, everybody.
All right now.
Bye, Stephanie. That was some good questions.
Yeah,
I was kind of wondering when someone was going to bring that up.
I hear that quite a bit. I'm taking my time.
And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
Yeah,
that means you'll find the right person.
That's right.
Patience, right?
That's right. It's patience with everything. You know, a lot of times I say, even though I've been on a lot of different shows, I honestly feel like my career has just started, and it's not because of The Walking Dead. It's because I had to get me together. I had to get myself together emotionally, spiritually, that type of thing. Because sometimes I don't want to be one of those actors that got, what I've been working for this entire time and being patient for, then I finally get to where I want to be and I mess it up. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I want to get to where I've been trying to get to, and that's where I stay until the day I die.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's a great point of view. It's a great way of looking at things, because a lot of, over the years we've seen a lot of actors achieve stardom and fame, and then what happens to them, their life falls apart, and it's very rare that they come back from that. Yeah,
it's just like the guy who just killed his wife. He hadn't worked in years, and he got mentally messed up, and he shot her. Like, why? Or you get on drugs or alcohol, or you just be in the news acting a fool, and then nobody wants to work with you because you just beat up your wife, but your boss is a woman. It's like, come on.
Yeah,
I don't
pretty
want
weak.
that.
Okay, we're kind of approaching the end of the show here. We have about 2 minutes left. We don't have any callers. So one thing I wanted to ask you, do you have any conventions or appearances coming up, Vincent, that people can see you at? Yeah,
you can actually check me out at Rhode Island. Rhode Island next week. It should be fun. I'm going to do some more Walker Stalker conventions coming up in the future. I don't know if I'm going to do the Boston one because it's so close to Rhode Island. Like I told you, July 10th, I would be Altoona, Pennsylvania, throwing out the first pitch. Then July 11th, I'm going to London, England to do a convention. So, and the Chill Spot, we're supposed to be starting that off the end of next month. I just hope that everybody can go like the page. And if you have any questions for me, hit me up.
Awesome.
And I'm on Twitter, Vincent M. Ward at Twitter, VincentMWard.com, Vincent M. Ward Facebook.
Yep, I think we have a lot. You have a lot of fans in our group. So again, thank you very much for coming and talking with us. I'm sure they'll be listening in over the next week because it is a recorded show. So I bet it'll be crazy how many people listen into it, even just non-live listeners. But again, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and go so that you guys can finish up. So you have a good night, guys.
Thank you, and happy birthday tomorrow.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I just got the 60-second warning here, Vincent. It was a pleasure having you. As I said, it's definitely a pleasure speaking with you. You're a very down-to-earth person. It's very refreshing to see something like that in an actor, especially one who's achieved as much popularity as you have, especially recently with the popularity of the show. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you in more stuff in the future. We're definitely going to be looking at this show, The Chill Spot. It's something I find interesting, especially, like you said, with the whole cooking aspect, traveling aspect, which is something that we all see on TV, but yet we can never hope to achieve. And if your show is going to show us something where we can do that, it'd be great to see,
I appreciate you having me on the show, Stu, and thank you for everybody that's listening. And, if you guys ever need me back or want me back, you know how to get in contact with me.
Okay, and just once again, I'd like to tell everybody you can check him out at www.vincentmward.com. Most of his information's on there. The Chill Spot on Facebook. And what was your Twitter again? I'm sorry?
It's the same, Vincent M. Ward at Twitter.
Vincent M. Ward at Twitter. And Instagram. All right, well, again, it was a pleasure having you, and, we hope to be hearing from you in the future.
All right, bro. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, and have a good night.
Later.
All right, thank you, everyone, for listening. Please tune in next time. Have a good night, everyone.